welcome, and I appreciate you
Are you kidding me?
coming in and spending your time with me this what is it, Friday?
Are you kidding me?
On this Friday, it's been a heck of a week.
Nah.
And again, I appreciate it. I mentioned it. You were a yes immediately.
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you are in a lot of things. I just feel like you're a yes. Like everybody,
Yes.
any circle, any event I'm a part of, be like, yo, we trying to get Ohavia to host it. We trying to get Ohavia to host. I'm
Wow.
talking about everything.
That makes me feel
Everything.
like real
You get what I'm
life,
saying?
yeah.
Either you're confirmed to do it,
Yeah.
or they're trying to get you to do it.
Yeah.
So, it's a little era. Not even a little. It's a big era.
Oh,
You get what I'm saying?
don't make
It
me
is.
cry, bruh. I have a bad habit
I'm
of tearing
telling
up.
you. I'm telling
Lashes
you, for
done.
real.
Got to do before and after. Jeez.
No,
Yes.
but for real, you're shaking, like the energy that you bring to the world, but like even just my timeline, like my morning, my day, I look
Wow.
at it, you know what I mean? Like you up dancing, I'm like, damn.
Is. Yeah. Got to look
on
like quick
10.
8 count.
Yeah.
Got to get the people excited about the day.
You know what I mean? Fully
Yeah.
fitted too. She don't look like she ready to.
When I tell you I appreciate that so much, because the look be looking and I be throwing a fit. You understand? You understand? My life is complete. My brother he done acknowledged.
Stamped it. Definitely
Okay.
stamped. It's not you. You know what I mean?
I understand.
So, yeah. So no, I appreciate everything you're
Yeah.
doing. And again, this is from just watching it. So
Yeah.
I can only imagine what it's like experiencing it and being you. And that's what I want to dive into. I want to open up the source
Yeah.
of connect the dots. Like we see it, we feel it, we hear it.
Yeah.
We definitely hear it. You
Yeah.
get what I'm saying?
Yeah, all right. Look, because we be
the mic is on.
The mic is on. Yo, y'all, this man be saying stuff for real that trademarkable. But yes, there you go. There you go.
Everything is a t-shirt.
Everything is a t-shirt.
Look.
Messing with Samir.
For sure. So no, I mean, where'd you come from? What planet did you come from? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What brought you here? What continues to, most importantly, I want to get into after that is what drives you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Why bring all that to the world?
Yeah.
When it's not nothing. It doesn't take
Yeah.
nothing to do that. It
Facts.
takes a lot.
Come
From
on.
being a high energy,
Yeah.
high dreaming type of individual,
Yeah.
again, I see the mirror in myself is like, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of energy. It's
Yes.
not nothing. So
Ooh.
where does that come from?
Yeah.
And what do you want to see from that?
Yeah.
Tell me where it all began. Where did
Yeah.
your passion for the world and for expressing yourself come from?
Yeah. So first things first, I'm big on giving flowers. And
Uh,
we're not about to skip that part because y'all, this man is giving like this is my bro. But I want to say thank you. You've definitely been somebody that inspires me, like a bro-spiration. I have
Oh.
sispirations and bro-spirations. And you're definitely that. So thank you for all you do for our community, for real, Samir, and all of the organizations that you partner with intentionally. They are some of my favorite people, and they really are out here for good. And I just want to say you're always where you need to be, because it's always the right rooms. And you inspire me, but I don't want to cry. So let's arriba, okay? So first things first is thanks for having me, but also to origin story. Shout out to my brother Daly. He actually has me on this phrase of like origin story, sharing where it started and my why, right? So, I had a very unique childhood growing up. So long story short, from Brooklyn, New York. I lived in Canarsie, Crown Heights, in East New York, so don't play with me. Praise God. Been everywhere comfortably in New York. And if you're from New York or have visited Brooklyn, then all of those places I named, you know what's up. I just look like this. We give him glory. But when I tell you, bro, so like my story starts in Brooklyn. My mom was a single mom, but like she worked hard. You know what I'm saying? My mom ain't never not keep a job. She was one of those like, what do you need? Okay, I'm gonna go out and get it. Registered nurse, 30 years. And so all I know is my mom working. And, I think that inspired me. Even in that stage of it, before we was even in a domestic violence shelter, that inspired me like, yo, my mom always puts her hand to work. She never make excuses. We always had what we needed, but most importantly, like she never made excuses when she could. I've seen this woman go out in rain, sleet, snow. So long story short, ended up moving to the South. My parents had a weird relationship, very, abusive, weird relationship, not unhealthy, I should say. And So Pops moved down with us here to the South. Our adventures brought us here. And, you know, long story short, my parents' unhealthy, toxic relationship, we wind up in the domestic violence shelter here in Charlotte. And I think that, you know, I'm going to say this and I'm going to shoot my shot, but I feel like you going to understand me, and all of the people, the familia who engage with your content is going to feel me on a different way. I feel like my why is that window in the shelter when we was living there. Because, you know, let me just paint the picture. Shelter is not a place that anybody really want to be. We're grateful that they provide rooms and safe spaces for people who are on the run and all the things. But, you know, just to paint the picture for y'all, the rooms are not very big. Sometimes it's a lot of families, 5 or more sharing one space, like one bedroom. So I like to equate it to like your college dorm, and imagine a family of 5 in there. You know what I'm saying? And you're sharing everything from beds, closet space. I mean, I tell often about how all of my belongings were in a trash bag because that's the only thing that we could really move quick, because we always had to escape and go. So my why is that shelter room window. That's where I used to imagine. That's literally where I'm not crazy, I promise y'all, but that's where I would talk to myself. That's where I would pray, and I would really visualize the life that I'm living now. Like, I remember even when we were in the shelter, all of the young kids took a liking to me. And before we used to eat dinner, what I used to do is gather them around and have like a talk show in the common area of the domestic violence shelter. Like, and these babies would be looking at me like, this is so cool. And I'm like, bro, we in a shelter. You know what I'm saying? But like, if it's one thing that I always used to do, it was visualize the life I had now, because I had no choice. Everything was small. You know what I'm saying? All I knew was just like people getting after it. All I knew was the hustle. I never knew what it was like, the luxury of just relaxing and just the luxury of taking a breath. But even in that, it built in me this like pit bull in a skirt, where it's like, there's nothing I can't have. There's nothing I can't visualize. There's nothing that I cannot manifest. In God, all things are possible. But most importantly, like, I've been chosen in the way that my story was told, because he knew that I'm a good steward over it. And he knew that I was going to make something of it. So even in that shelter, when I was talking to those kids and we was faking like talk show and all that, I didn't know it was sowing seeds toward the life I live now. And I'm grateful. So my why is that shelter window of no more looking out windows. Like, we building homes, we acquiring the block. We're coming for the neighbors. We're adding value to the neighborhood. Like, that's really where I am right now. And I'm not even going to hold you. I really feel like one of my favorite people is Issa Rae. I feel like I'm in mogul era for real. There's been so much like resistance and things happening to me, but it's like big business things, and I count my blessings. So shout out to that shelter window building a home inside of me, and now we acquiring the block. Like, that's really what I'm on. You always do this. You always do this.
You got too many gems. You got too many gems.
I'm talking from the heart though. Yeah. And also too, and y'all, you know, y'all kind of just peeking in, but like, this is how Samir and I always talk for. So it's like talking to my brother, but the mic's on, because this is how this is how we do. Yeah.
Because it's, you know, you've never not given your all.
Yeah.
To every conversation. Yeah. Every interaction. Yeah. It doesn't matter if there's 5 people in the audience, 5,000, 5 million people in the audience. You know, I will say that you are continuously just giving your all to everything. Again, from a small scale, how you do anything, or how you do anything is how you do everything. Yes. You know, and like, you do everything to the maximum. Yes. And, you know, I feel the passion, and I feel, you know, the little girl who wants to see the world away. Yes. I feel that in everything that you do. You know what I mean? Like, you really do. When you work, you can feel that it's not for nothing. Facts. It's very much for something. It's for the other little girls who may be looking out that window. That's right. You know, I feel that in everything. It is. Wow. Come on. I love you, man. Look, he gets it. They get it. I think the world gets it. I think that it's impossible to, again, hear you, see you, and not feel you. So I think it is very important that you know, that perspective is had. And man, I thank you for the contribution that you are to the world. It's something that's important, for real. Man. For real. I'm gonna cry in the car. No, for real, bro. Thank you. It's my pleasure, for sure. So, you know, you come from New York. I know, you know, why are y'all so rude up in New York? You think we rude? You know, I will say this. Look like a politician. What I will say. No, you know what it is? I will say this, right? And this is for the people who never been to New York. We're not rude. Here's what it is. Let me paint the picture. I'm big on painting the picture, right? You got to think everything in that city move fast. Traffic, people. I mean, even if you don't walk fast enough, it's over. You're losing the heel on your favorite sneakers, your flip-flops. It's over for you. We're going to step on the back of your heel, and we're not going to apologize. No, it's no time to be nice. It's definitely no time to be nice. And I, you know, anytime we go to New York, I'm like, let me Let me make sure I don't say excuse me.
Or smile.
Let me not look too happy.
Nah, you got to look like the world is on your shoulders, but you're winning. The healthy balance. You know what I'm saying? You got to give, but you got to give like, I got faith. It's a balance. It's a balance.
But some of the best people I know in my life, like some of the people I hold dearest to my life are from New York. So it's you know, you guys are, and I feel like people from up north just love Charlotte because it's like it's city, you know what I mean, but it's also southern, it's slow, you know what I mean, to a degree. So I think that's a mixture that people from up north really appreciate because I mean, there's it's expensive as shit up in New York. Yeah. And you know what I mean? There's
rent $6,000.
Come on.
And that's
that's
crazy. No cap. It really is. Yeah.
It is. Right.
Tell them
for
the truth.
Some little stuff.
Yep.
So no, that's epic. So tell me what's you know, from what you can disclose, what's coming up? Like what hold on one second actually. I need to open this door.
This is going great. That's crazy because am I glistening? Uh-huh. We straight. No, we good. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And it sounds good. Wow, this sounds really good. Jeez. Samir went to turn on the AC because we were spitting fire. I'm so grateful to be a guest on the podcast at this fateful hour. I just freestyle. You go and listen to that back later.
This is live.
Oh, it is? No, oh. Bro, well, I was like, wow, I did that. Under pressure. Yes. Yes.
No, so yeah, some of the best people I know are from New York. They're you know, kind-hearted. Well, kind-hearted. Yeah, kind-hearted.
Now, come on now. We're kind-hearted.
Yeah, kind-hearted. Being nice and being kind are two very different things.
It is.
And I connect with New Yorkers because I'm very kind.
Yes.
But I'm not very nice.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
well, nice is outward.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, nice is giving real outward, but, like, the kindness is within, right?
Exactly.
But you got to protect that, though. I get it.
You do. And it's a lot, especially when you're a giving person. It's real easy to just give people you know, everything and just not have a filter on kind of like your, you know, cash flow around like what you give out, you know. So tell me, you know, with you're naturally a giving person, like, and I know that when people you know, approach you about something and there's an opportunity, you know, how do you manage, you know, in a world where you're like your industry, it's not like you're selling a particular like physical product,
right?
You know what I mean? I would imagine that, you know, even before, so I jump into that. Tell me about Ohavia, the business. Like, what is your business model?
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying? Like, what you got for sale?
First of all, thank you for even asking. That's a blessing, bro, and I don't take that for granted. So long story short, I am the steward of the Universe Network. I put OH in everything. Gotcha. And to know me is to know there's going to be an OH snuck in it all. So I'm the owner of the Universe Network, and under it are three arms is what I like to call it. So one is the D code within OH, and that's where we do all things media training, media curriculums. I've also been blessed to be in partnership with like some colleges and universities. I wish I could speak on it, but by the time they listen to this, maybe I could drop this, but major university opportunity has come up for me out west, and I'm super stoked about it. But like just opening doors there, so it's all things media curriculum and training up the next generation of Black and brown content creators, marketers, people who want to tell stories, news anchors, and that's how I support. The other arm of my business is the Odega. So, you know, no surprise after Bodega. Because growing up in Brooklyn, you know, that was a huge pinnacle in my life. You know what I'm saying? Bodegas are a part of every culture on every block, but also what does it symbolize? It symbolizes our ownership. You know, it symbolizes like we knew who owned it, and they knew like just the camaraderie, the neighborhood aspect. They knew when people's kids was born. You know, the bodega is really the pinnacle of every neighborhood back up north. So I named it the Odega in homage to that, and that is the merch arm of my business. So that is where I'm fluent in the language of me. Dije lo que dije merch is. That's where the mugs are, the shirts are. That's where All that stuff is. And then the last arm is really where things started taking off for me, is the O Show, where we do all things media. So I get to be the on-air and personality. So I interview persons of impact. I interview people in the city doing incredible things. And it's funny because, you know, I used to say people in the city, but now it's Charlotte and beyond. And the resume is growing. And I'm like, to God be the glory. And so, like, sometimes I sit back and be like, look, mira. But for the most part, yeah, just doing all things media. And, you know, I think the biggest thing, Samir, too, is it's less about all the things and more about knowing what direction you're going in, right? Because even as I named all of those things, it's not like there are 50 gazillion things happening with all of them, but intentional projects are happening. And I feel like our generation is getting it, and I hope that the future generation is getting it. It's not about the things that you're involved in or how many. It's the quality. It's the collaborations. It's the way that you make it make sense. It's the story we're telling and the problem we're solving. And so, you know, this is just for like young people or people who are budding entrepreneurs. Listen, yeah, I'm a huge proponent of doing all the things, but just make sure that in all the things you're intentional. You know what I'm saying? You don't ever want to hate what you love. So yeah, I don't know why.
No,
I just be following the feels.
Yeah,
I be following the feels.
I love that. And you know, especially it's a kind of an ideology that we carry around. Like, your brand is what you, and I've talked with you about this, is, you know, your brand is what you tell and your business is what you sell.
Come on.
And like, you know, the business model is the business model. Like, you want to buy it low and sell it high, and you know, you want to make as much of it as possible.
Yeah.
But from the brand perspective, it really is about that impact. It's about what people feel. It's about what you see, you know, your future looking like, what you see the future world looking like. So, you know, tell me what your business looks like in 100 years, you know, like at the end, or, you know, maybe even beyond, what your life looks like. Like, what do you want to see in the world because of the work that you're doing now?
Samir, let me tell you, you and your Emmy Award winning, my brother's in this. I think 100 years looks like, for me, one, I'm not running it. I feel like the most powerful position any owner could be in is you've trained up, raised up the next X amount of people so well, they run it for you, and you trust them, and there's a loyalty there. So for me, in 100 years, it looks like, honestly, I'm on somebody's beach. In 100 years, it's looking like, you know, I have just amazing and impactful, incredible, the future of all things media, marketing, digital, storytelling, running this for me. The future looks like we're providing scholarships for young people from neighborhoods who, you know, they don't say that we have the part, or, you know, we got the accents, we don't look like we belong on TV because I was that girl. It's like, nah, we ain't never seen you. And I used to say, yet, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm very clear on my demographic. It's the kids who come from those areas. It's the kids who are in shelters who are dreaming big. It's the single parent households. It's the black and brown babies who are like, well, I got an accent, and, you know, English is not my first language. Okay, well, what's up? I'm Jamaican. I come from them Jamaicans. You know what I'm saying? What's up? I come from them Costa Ricans. You know, what's up? So I think that my why is so big that in 100 years, I pray that it's running on its own in the hands of just amazing and incredible stewards who know that the why is bigger than them too. And we're just sending out talent. Like, I want people to be like, yo, the Universe sent out so-and-so again. And like, the project is award winning because it's impactful. It's never about you in the business. It's always about how can we pass the torch and make sure that they have the fire inside, and then they pass it on and they pass it on. So my goal is actually not to run it. It's to 100%. Just support those who are, you know.
I love that.
And be wealthy.
Oh, yeah.
How could I forget my favorite W word?
Come on now.
It's giving wealth.
Yeah.
Prosperity. You know?
You're too much. It is, though. No, it's definitely giving wealth. And I think that, you know, that's, to me, you know, I had to ask my mother, like, you know, did everybody you grew up with, did they want to be rich? You know, I had to really ask her, and she was like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Like, nobody, you know, from my era wanted to grow up and just really be rich. And I think that we're in this mode right now where, you know, entrepreneurship is like, you know, it's hyper sexualized, you know what I mean? Like, to the point where it's driving people in it. And I kind of had to take a few steps back around, like, you know, being even a champion for it. Yeah. Because it'll tear some people up.
Listen to me.
You get what I'm saying? It'll fuck some people. It's fucked me up.
Listen,
you get what I'm saying?
bro. Oh, wow. This is fresh off the press. How deep can we go on this? Because I'm willing
to go.
Let me tell you how that's literally the season I'm in. I didn't even recognize how I put entrepreneurship on a pedestal so much. It knocked me down. I didn't recognize how much stake I put in entrepreneurship, and I ain't getting no return on it because my mindset was so tore up, bro, about this. And I take responsibility 100%. But let me tell you how this internet stuff is dangerous. Because it paints the picture like, you know, you do a little class, you make your 6 figs, you launch something else, you find a partner and one of your friends and y'all launch. Let me tell y'all, is this camera on me? Let me tell y'all, no, don't be like me, bro. You saying that, it just unearthed a whole, I'm telling you, I had it all wrong. Yeah. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's so funny because I'm doing all the incredible things in media, but I've also taken a step back with my business. And now I'm in a season of getting help and mentorship. Because the way I saw that, wrong.
Right, 100%. And it's there. Like, it's continuously getting pushed on us to essentially go and work for yourself and be, you know, this hustle. And it's like, hustling has changed. They didn't have ChatGPT back then. What you got to be, what I'm hustling for?
I'm hustling, no.
ChatGPT, write me. Hey, write me a business plan to make me $1 trillion.
You understand? You know I think something that caught me way off guard is one of my homegirls said, Ohavia, watch this. She said, ChatGPT, create a caption for me and she put her code words. Samir, we got that thing back. I said, Lord of Jesus Christ. What I feel going here.
I put a blog. I'll copy a blog. I'll copy a whole blog, copy the text, put it in there, put it in ChatGPT and say, summarize this for me and write me 3 questions I can ask the author that will prove to them I read it. And it'll just produce it.
All this
it's
schooling,
different.
I want my money back. ChatGPT, y'all hiring? I do media really well. I could interview.
I said ChatGPT for president.
You know what I'm saying?
I would trust ChatGPT.
I'm 2024.
Right.
2024. Look, Chat 24. What? Stop playing with us.
No bullshit. Whoa. Yeah, like it's a different world, and you know you don't like the whole working hard. Like no. You get what I'm saying? I'm over.
Samir, when I tell you I'm over it, I had it so wrong. And if you think about it, right, even that grind is rooted in poverty.
It's really, the capitalism in general is rooted in slavery.
You already
I'm saying, like, we're trying to get as close to that as like we want to get as close to free labor as we can.
You know how I like talks like this, but I'm a chill, but I'm not.
No, but for real, like, I sit back and I think that, like, the consumerism, capitalism can't exist without exploitation of labor to some degree.
Facts.
To the point where if you're really good at it, you're exploiting yourself.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? You got to exploit yourself. You got to be able to get yourself on the clock and produce.
Yeah.
Like it's something that really brings that out of you.
Yes.
And, it's very difficult. It's been like this for however many years because it's built to stay like this.
Yeah.
Like this is not.
They had practice. Years worth, decades worth, hundreds of thousands of years worth, centuries worth. Yeah.
Centuries worth of practice of exploitation and just like moving the goalpost around how we create an economy. So it's really tricky because part of me is like I want to be the best businessman in the world. Like I see myself, I see the best businessmen in the world.
Right.
I see the best business people, and I look and I say I could do that.
Yeah.
I'm talking like big top dogs.
Yes.
But at the same time, I'm like, do I want to do what they had to do to be that?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Look.
And do I want to have to make those sacrifices? Do I want to be? I'm not willing to sacrifice the parenthood, the time with my kids.
Right.
Like I'm not willing to sacrifice that. I don't think I have to.
Facts.
We're in a generation where we can have both.
Yeah.
Who said we have to choose?
Why not?
We can we got ChatGPT. We got these different things. The world is completely different, and we can build it how we want. So I'm a big believer in that, and it takes a lot of stepping back. It takes a lot of seeing it and stopping. And
see, people don't talk about that stopping enough. That
stopping or that, I'm not going to say quitting, but like, during
reframing,
reframe, but even quitting, like stop, like for real.
Yeah.
Like there's no harm in shit like that because we get so caught up in just moving. And so many of like, because anytime I've been in a rocky period, I've been trying to quit. You get what I'm saying?
Bruh,
and stop. And like, and I'm like, do I want to do this? Do I want to do this? I'll lay it on the table. I'll lay it out and be like, do I really want to do this?
Yeah.
And honestly, unfortunately, the first thing that comes to mind when I consider quitting or continuing or whatever the case may be is what other people think. You know what I mean? Like it's not like to me. I'm like, do I like? I wouldn't give a fuck either way. Like I could become a billionaire doing whatever I want to do and be happy, or hit it big on crypto and stay at home with my kids. Like I'm on that. You get what I'm saying? I'm gonna enjoy my time. You know what I mean? And like that's the type that I want to be on. Facts. But it's like. You know, so much of it is like, well, what would people think? What would people say? You know, what would people? You know, what would that look like socially? So,
we are really in the same vein. More exclusive. First of all, thanks for being a safe space. A lot of these things, and it just speaks to growth too, right? Like it's okay to share the real because you never know who's listening and who can glean. And also too, there's just like this unrealistic expectation that's set, and sometimes when they listen to their favorites, it just makes it real for them in a way where it's like it's okay to be human. I removed the subscription aspect off all my social media because I had an incredible deep problem with giving things that I put in 10 years of knowledge and litmus testing and figuring out what's what for to get pennies on the dollar for. And it was tough because I had people who were subscribing and like, oh, this is gonna be so lit and it's incredible. But then I was like, but wait, let's look at the bigger picture, right? Like it's not even necessarily about money for me. It's reaching people. It's taking this curriculum and let's just take it internationally. Why not? And yes, social media could do that, but like how? I guess what the disconnect was for me was I'm giving all of this. It was the pennies on the dollar for the knowledge for me. And it was, y'all can't even really guarantee that I can reach all the people I wanted to. So I had to reverse engineer. And what I decided was instead, let me collab with some of my favorites. Let me take this media curriculum, get on a plane physically. Let's go to these schools and colleges. And it's been different. But that was uncomfortable because it was like, what are people going to say? Like, she couldn't handle that. Right. It was tough.
Or they're not consistent enough. You know?
Yeah.
That's why with this, because everybody's like, if you want to pop on social media, and it works. You got to post 6 times of this and 10 times of this. And I'm like, dog, I can't. You get what I'm saying?
If you're running a real business, it's tough. Like if you're doing real business in real life, it's tough to do that in social.
It is. It's a full-time business. And if you don't have the budget to pay somebody whose business it is, you get what I'm saying? To really do that shit and to produce the content and to edit it for you and to track the metrics and to optimize the ads. It's like that shit is a whole fucking department.
It is.
That you get what I'm saying?
like 10 people or more.
Right. And I'm like, yo, I can't keep up with that. And like what happened to just this being organic, and like being able to just like use this platform. I'm very, anti like establishment when it comes to like these social media platforms too, because so many people are like social, but I have 10 times the amount of contacts in my phone than I do followers.
Let's
talk. You get what I'm saying? Like it's to me it's about a social network. You get what I'm saying? It's about being able to communicate and connect with people. Yes. And social media is just meant to be the easiest way to do that. Yeah. But over time it's proven out to become more of a challenge, you know, because it's the paywalls. And because of them wanting to monetize you on their terms and moderate the content. And it's just like, there's just so much that isn't in your control that good just doesn't float to the top. You know what I'm saying? Which is why I had to, you feel me? I had to reverse engineer that thing. Cause I'm like, 1, y'all can't promise me that I want to reach the people that I want to. 2, the demographic for me is highly niche. So we really got to figure that out. And 3, how much was the check after I done gave all this content? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's and making it make sense. Change that at any time. Correct. Yeah. And correct. And we're trying to give scholarships out here, so got to get the bag. You understand? And you can have one client that could pay you more than you feel me, a bazillion likes. Yes. Like, come on. Yes. I take that all day of the week. So yes. It's definitely a challenge in this day and age, but it's also a blessing because I think so. Yeah. we have the opportunity. So many people talk down on social media, and social media ruined the world, but I think social media saved the world. I'm gonna be honest. I have to retweet that. I will say this: social media revolutionized my business. Come on. I don't got no problems with social media. Yeah. It's just certain aspects of it. It's kind of like a contract. Read it thoroughly and just understand. Like if you're gonna give your energy to this thing in a certain way, just pay attention to the ROI. How do you feel after doing that for 30 days straight? You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And like you said, the return on it, because you could post content, but it's like, bro, like I'm not. And that takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of energy. And what's the checks? I had a whole department. I had a whole content team, thousands of dollars a month. We were putting out episodes, doing all this stuff. Yeah. And like, to spend $6,000 a month and make $1,200 that's
but
trackable.
You see what I'm
it's
saying?
like, come on,
right.
like, what's the point?
Right.
You know what I mean? Just to stay consistent, just
right.
to be on top of it. It's
right.
like it's not. It doesn't end up being worth it at the end of the day.
No.
So
you inspired a thought. I think, and this is what I tell people all the time. I treat social media like a digital portfolio, like a digital resume. Like yeah, they're gonna go to your LinkedIn, but let's keep it real. They also gonna check Instagram and see what the action is over there. So it's just knowing like how you're gonna use this tool intentionally and to make it work for you online, but especially offline. I think that's the biggest thing. Like it has to work on both sides or yes, the impact, yes, the looks, yes, the authenticity, but when we see you in person, making sure that all that lines up because the goal is let's get to what we want to get to. Let's think 10 steps ahead, and most of that happens offline.
100%. And that's where it's the magic happens.
Facts.
So to switch gears a little bit, what would you say to your younger self, like right now? You know what I mean? Like, who would you need to be for you back then?
Yeah. You're just getting all the exclusives for real, because I came out of a pruning season, okay, in entrepreneurship. But I would say, you about to get that real. I don't think I'm going to say this. Don't do it for them. Don't do it for them. Don't do it for people. Don't do it for the looks. Don't even do it for the haters, right? And it goes back to what I was telling you, bro, about how I put entrepreneurship on a pedestal. I made it an idol. Like, I always tell the story of how my boss told me I could never be a talk show host. And I literally quit news and launched my business. And that was my fuel for 5 years. And now that bigger doors are opening and, they talk different in these rooms, they don't care about what your boss said to you. Can you do the job? You know what I'm saying? What are you bringing? What problem are you solving? We're going to collaborate. How can we make this incredible for both of us? And, God has been so incredible. Like, he's been opening really big doors lately. And I'm telling that story less and less. And it forced me to have some real talk with myself about, why do you tell that story? And that's what a lot of us do sometimes. We build businesses off of the naysay, the lack of applause, the lack of validation, and for some of us, the pat on the back. For some of us, the spotlight. And I think that I would tell young Ohavia, matter of fact, I would tell Ohavia when her boss told me that, don't do it for him. Like, leverage this environment as much as you can, become sharper, the best, still be the pit bull in the skirt, right? But like, become the best you, and don't let nobody rush you out from their negativity. And I would say, don't do it for them, do it for you, and be intentional. Everything is 10 steps ahead. That's another thing I learned too out of this pruning season. I was thinking a block up when the Lord has the neighborhood for me. And here I am, like, if I could only get to the end of the block. And then that's all I was attracting in business, though. Here we go. Then I begin to attract only things that went up a block in business. So now, you're not getting people who put respect on your business. Now you're trying to figure out why you got to, like, negotiate and pull your hair out. It's like, but all the impact I'm making, well, look, they only treating you how you did. They talking to you in business how you doing your business. You only thinking a block up.
Gave them a price list.
You understand? But now we neighborhoods, and that come with a different energy, and that comes with just a different tactfulness and strategy. And so I would say those are the top two things for me. Like, don't do it for people, and see the bigger picture. It's not just about you, and that's the most successful people. That's what they hold on to. It's bigger than them. I didn't mean to preach.
No,
you got me in a really good season. I came out of like some crazy 2-3 months.
What'd you learn from it? Can you turn it down a little bit? Can you turn it down just a smidge?
You good, bro. What did I learn from that? I learned, well, I'm going to keep it short because this is a Netflix special at this point. It's a Netflix special.
I'm shopping it.
Okay. Look, period. I learned from my pruning season, don't make anything an idol. Entrepreneurship, success, money, these open doors. And I know, with the wonderful world of social media, that's kind of like the Beauty and the Beast. Like, it does allow you to showcase your talent, your expertise, and all the things. And it definitely does allow you to reach people in different places for the free. But also the beast of it is you look up and you're like, dang, I'm really making this like a thing. Like, it's like you're worshiping something you can't touch, something that's not tangible. And it's so important that you remember there's a life off that app. And it's also so important that you remember you shouldn't be idolizing nothing, even success. Like, the tables can turn, but just, I think if you're going to don't idolize anything. I will say this, if you're going to be intentional with your energy, just remember, think about the old you and beat that person every day. That's it.
Gems, bars.
This is for Jamaica, done. This is for Jamaica, done.
A trip. No, I feel that. And
you be pulling that out of us, though. This man know what he doing.
There's definitely life off of that app, and I think that there's a life off of this earth too. You know what I mean? Like after this, there's an afterlife. You get what I'm saying? Like that really.
Samir, don't make me start shouting in here. Come on, Samir, don't play with me. You know what time we on.
But no, I feel you, and I think that it takes a level of humble, humility to just appreciate the impact in the world around you that's not siloed in some echo chamber on a digital platform. I think that it's super important, because that's where the real work happens. And something that I keep in mind, a perspective around like business, is that only studies show that only 9 to 12% of commerce is e-commerce. You get what I'm saying?
And we be putting much
everything into it. You get what I'm saying? But only 9 to 12% is e-commerce. It's rising, and it's rising fast. Wow. You get what I'm saying? But we there's a whole 90%, 91% of the pie that could be door to door, that could be walk up. You get what I'm saying? Like that could be brick and mortar, in events. Anything that I got, anybody that I know that's not from here came from me pulling up.
Yes.
Came from me, when I had my brand, I would go and travel to sneaker cons, and I would set up a vendor booth, or I would, research different things in different cities, local acts. Like I would, do my best to touch the people and to get in the space, and then convert that to some sort of digital traction. But it's we come from an era now where that digital traction can be 100% online. Yep. And then it's like, what do I do outside of that? So I just appreciate your perspective on that, because it's important, especially in media. Come on, especially in media.
The mountain of media.
It's a lot.
It is.
It's a lot.
It is. I love it though. I love it, and I'm grateful for that the pruning season, because it's literally like you said, like nothing's in an echo chamber, and most like amazing things happen when you get out of the silo, and amazing things happen when you collaborate and seeing the 90. I love how you put that. It's seeing the 90, not the 9 to the 12%, but see the big picture. So it's been gracious to me. That's what's up. And I like it here.
I love it.
Look, in my power pink suit.
Yes, it's popping. I love it.
Look, not the.
Yeah. A trip. So this is epic. I love it. I love to hear your story. I love to hear where you're going. Tell me what you got coming up. Like, what can we help you? What can we help you with? What can we spread the word about? What do you want more people to know about?
Oh my gosh, Shamir, thanks, bro.
Of course.
Man.
Come on now.
You're trying to make me cry. Well, you know this about me, and for the familia that I am blessed to now engage with on your side, I'm really big on collaboration and community. You know that. And so I just feel like I'm in this season of collaboration, powerful collaboration. So most recently I got into Forbes Black. And it's such a blessing to be in community with incredible business owners, change agents, just big thinkers. And they've been making me better. Like we be in a Slack getting busy. Like, I mean, they're like, oh, hey, you thought about this? I mean, when I tell you, Samir, so there's that. But also like partnering with one of my best friends, her name is Meredith Dean. She's also heavy in our community for young professionals. And, her niche is young professionals, all things City of Charlotte, and just like professional development. I'm all things City of Charlotte, media, and community. So, we both said, why not collab? So we're collaborating on our curriculum. It is doing incredible. People are signing up. And so I guess the biggest thing is I would like to take this time to say, like, not even pitch my own stuff. I would say, y'all, collaborate. Like, even Samir and I, this is a collaboration. And, I'm going to dig in the archives for y'all. When I was first starting out this merch journey, this was a man that I knew I could trust. I DM'd him like, I don't know what I'm doing. Do you remember that? I said, Samir, I'm going to be honest with you, bro. You asking me for PDF, LDBs. You asking me for roposetetes. I don't know what you're asking me for. Like, he's asking for different copies of stuff to put on merch. I'm like, bro, I don't even know what this is, bro. The knick-knack or the paddywhacks. And so, I will say that the most beautiful things where the magic happens is in collaboration. So instead of promoting something I have going on, I want to promote the power of collaboration and pure hearts. Like, y'all, listen, don't sleep on the power of relationships, and also take the time to nourish those relationships. Take the time to sow seeds. Everything is not an ask, and everything is not content. And just see people for who they are, not what they could do for you. Let me tell you, the people that I'm now engaging and all these awesome doors are opening, these were people that I new, sowed seeds with. We nourished our relationship. It wasn't ever like, what could you do? What could I do? And I'm not saying that's negative. I'm saying our society can't lead with that. Ask somebody their why before you ask about a budget. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know we all got to make money, but that's actually low vibe currency. High vibe currency is people. They, you know, people who could put you in positions with other people, with things. So like, just be a pure hearted person and yeah, collab. And I love my brother Samir because he's about that as well. Is this camera on me? He's about that as well.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you taking your time on this Friday evening. You dropped a lot of gems.
Thanks, bro. I hope I didn't talk too much. You know, I just be passionate. You know, I be preaching.
You talking to me.
I'm like the deacon of business.
Talk too much.
First of all, never. Oh, no. Let me tell you, sometimes, y'all, I would just sit and listen to Samir. All I would need is my phone so I could take notes real quick. At this point, though, messing with you, I need the voice memo app on. Because this man.
Some transcriptions.
Yeah. Let me get some transcriptions.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, no, I do appreciate you for real. You blessed the mic and you made it right. Like, at the end of the day, you know, this is about storytelling. This is about anything. You know, I'm here to amplify what I can and to you know help create. Like I said, like you said, you know, high vibrational currency. Like not necessarily focus on the P&L. We are. We focus.
You know what I'm saying? We focus, but you know what I'm saying.
But I don't dream about that. You get what I'm saying? Like
put that on a shirt.
Yeah, I don't. You know that to me, it's the sport. It's like, you know, I go and I want to obviously score as high a score as I can. And do as many numbers as I can. But it's not gonna. You know, it doesn't get me up. It doesn't keep me up. You know, it doesn't get me up. It keeps me up.
Ooh. You understand? Hold on, y'all. I know y'all heard that. I know y'all heard that.
It doesn't give me.
It doesn't keep me up. It gets me up. The audacity.
It doesn't
get me up. It keeps me up. It doesn't get me up. It keeps me up. The audacity.
The audacity.
Wow. All right. Well, this was a great episode, and we'll see y'all next. You know what I'm saying? We see y'all next week. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that you support your local. Shop local.
Click the link.
Click the link in the bio. You know what I'm saying? Big things off a go on here, so you don't know.